The US government is going after Tether. That is clear to me. I view Tether as a very important part of the ecosystem, and I don't know how to predict
the impact that will have on the rest of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
What's up, good people? Jungle Link here. Hope you're doing well. You heard it from that clip from Brad Garlinghouse, where he states the U.S. government is going after Tether, and it doesn't take a Nostradamus here, does it? They're going after the biggest exchanges, biggest coins, biggest decentralized exchanges, wallets, and self-custody providers. You name it. This is an all-out assault on crypto, so it's kind of common sense. They're going to go after the biggest stable coin in the business, and they're probably, saving the best for last. That's going to be a big struggle there. They want to control stable coins. Tether is this huge global monster, the biggest in the game, and we'll see how that plays out. Now, that conversation came up because Brad Garlinghouse was asked about the next black swan, and he was saying, well, that's the biggest one that I see on the horizon, but it's going to take your pick, right? Is it going to be the government's assault on cryptocurrencies, the, shaky global financial system right now? Here in the United States, you have a restrictive policy by the Federal Reserve, going to put a lot of strain on the banking sector, on commercial real estate. You could be worried about global conflict, war, definitely a risk. Tensions are rising. There's boogeymans everywhere. But you know what? This is the deal. In the short term, any of these things can make crypto values go down, and they will as they pop up. But long term, this is exactly why we have crypto, to combat against these risks. So things that make crypto go down in the short term only cement crypto's value for the long term. Now, I see a lot of negativity out there towards Ripple. Understandable. Sometimes I'm quite negative about some of the things they're doing, but I'll have you look back to the past. Your great tech companies, they all go through hard times. When you look at their early days, something like Amazon, was about books, and then they pivoted and continued to scale and grow. That end result may not have been what you thought it would be in the future, but they find their way to really pave new industries. Even Google, their early days, they tried to just flip off their search to their competitor, and Yahoo for 5 million and then later 5 billion. They couldn't have imagined what the future held, but these tech companies find a way to redefine industry, to really build amazing services that change our lives. And I think Ripple's going to be much the same. That final result probably will look nothing like what we imagined to begin with, but they're going to keep building, continuing to scale, and they're going to leverage blockchain and specifically XRP to build that future. And that's never going to change. I've warned about a process that is guaranteed to happen with Ripple, and we are seeing it happen now. This transition where you go from really the tech visionaries, your Evan Schwartz, your Stephen Thomases, eventually your David Schwartz, they're going to exit, and the business people are going to take over. Just like when you look at Apple, you don't have your Wozniaks building stuff in their garage anymore. You have your Tim Cooks that are building scalable and massive global businesses, and Ripple will continue to make that shift, where it's more business focused than really visionary. That's really also why it's so important to have these independent developers and infrastructure runners to do their very important work, because they're really going to be the ones that push this network forward. You're going to see Ripple be less and less important in that arena over the next 5 years. You better believe it. Ripple has a habit of being very early with things. We see they were the first with decentralized exchanges, the first to be a non-mining crypto. We could go on down the list. I suspect payments and micropayments, it's not that they're not a big deal. They should be foundational. It's that Genesis vision of cryptocurrencies, peer-to-peer payments. But I think they were a little early. We are going to see some killer applications centered around payments, and there's no better blockchain than XRP to facilitate that use case. But further, we're now going to contend within DeFi and some of the other hot spots within cryptocurrencies where you see a lot of adoption. And their approach here, when I say they, I don't just mean Ripple, but all the people developing on the ledger, it's nice because the things they are building are symbiotic with payments, and you can, really pull on that liquidity and pull on that, daily trading volume that you build with DeFi and source that liquidity for payments as well. And it's bringing a lot more of your transactions off of the exchanges, like we currently see with ODL, and bringing it on chain so it can be sourced in a decentralized manner And that's always the most cost-effective and reliable way to do things anyway. If you're an XRP investor, your toughest days are really behind us. We were out on an island, isolated. We're the only ones that cared about this fight against the SEC. We stood up against a tyrant and we won. Now the rest of this crypto space gets to enjoy that same journey we went on. As we close that chapter, everyone else is just beginning. This is the best time in XRP's history in terms of, building on the ledger to really leverage those advanced features. For the longest time, it was just send XRP from wallet A to wallet B. They're really leveraging the DEX. They're adding new stuff like AMMs, bridging, paying this network proper respect with a true stablecoin from a trusted issuer. Yeah, there's still issues to work out. Things like, how do you build out a decentralized network when you have someone the size of Ripple that exerts the influence that they do? But we're gonna figure it out. This isn't a game of perfect. This is about every day building the future, and that's what we see happening here. This is why XRP has held a relatively high value and why it's quite irritating, because we don't get those dips down to 2 cents. We don't get those dips down to sub a penny. It stays consistently a top coin. It doesn't pull an ADA, it doesn't pull a Solana and drop down into number 15 or number 20. It just won't. You can't hope on just recovering to make you the gains you're after. We have to see that happen in terms of actual growth, massive growth. And I'm betting you're going to see exactly that. If this is anything like the past, and of course it may not be, we'll likely hit a summer doldrums. Everyone will say it's over. This is the worst time for crypto. But get ready. According to my calculations, as a regular guy with a microphone, we'll hit a summer doldrums. But I'm still aiming for late 2024 and 2025 for some massive, massive action. And when we see a true alt season, if you will, a massive crypto-wide growth phase, XRP is going to shoot the lights out here. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.